And we are back. and by now, you all know the routine. When we go ahead and we give our predictions, we want you to give your predictions with us as well. Down in the comment section here on this YouTube video, give your score prediction. And if you are the first person to get the exact score right, you can be like Brian King, who a couple weeks ago, he got the score right. 38-3, I believe, was his prediction in the Michigan State game, and he got a T-shirt sent to him, a lot like this one. How about this T-shirt? How firm thy friendship, the OHIO podcast. Hang on, Sloopy, the OHIO podcast as well. We've got all kinds of merch. We'll be happy to send you something your way. We've got some new T-shirts coming. Hopefully, I'm waiting until after this game to make them because they might be a little bit relevant to this game. Also, we're going to have some beanies that get made with our logo on it as well. So we have all kinds of good merch that you can purchase here very, very soon. We'll have those after the football season as we gear up for the offseason and into the next season here on the OHIO podcast. If you're listening to this on our audio format of your choice, head on over to YouTube, find this video, which will be played on Thursday evening. And down in the comments section, give your score prediction as well. All right, guys, that being said, let's go ahead and jump into our score predictions. I gave mine the other night on the Big Ten Huddle when I was recording with Derek from Victor's Nation, and I gave a score of 24-23. You don't get any closer than that right there, guys. Chris, you said 24-21. Aaron, you said 20-16. Man, we are all very close in our scores, and all of them are very, very low scoring. Chris, how'd you come up with your score?
I just feel like in watching what I think these two teams can do, we're not going to see a lot of explosive offense. You may see a running back break a big one for a score on either or both sides. But I think this is going to be a drawn-out run game, good old-fashioned Big Ten football. And I think that defense is going to play a major role in it. And I just feel like our defense is a little bit better. And I think 24-21 is where we're at. And I do have one other prediction, guys, and that is win, lose, or draw, we will see a Michigan coach crying in an interview.
I don't know how much of going out on a limb that is. I mean, I think almost a guarantee.
It's what they do.
Right. I was going to say.
They cry and they say weird things. That's their MO.
All right. Aaron, you said 2016. How'd you come up with that score?
Yeah, I just think it's going to be like Chris said. I think we're looking at an old-fashioned slugfest where both teams are going to run the ball a lot and attempt to control the clock. I don't think there's going to be a ton of scoring. As much as I would love to say it, I'd love to. I think we're going to take our shots, and they will too, to keep the defense honest. I don't know how successful we'll be, but I just think it's going to take some late game heroics. And I'll even go one further for you. I think that Marvin Harrison Jr. catches a winning touchdown pass at the end.
Okay, I like that. 24-23. I think this thing is going to be a slugfest. I think no one is going to really pull away during this game. And here's my crazy prediction for you. Marvin Harrison Jr., I don't know if he's going to have a touchdown catch. I think he has a touchdown throw in this game.
Ooh.
Get down about the 15-yard line. Nice little end around on the run.
Run that wrinkle.
Michigan's seen it on tape. They think he's gonna run it. You know, you've got Cade Stover out there as the lead blocker, and he kind of lets his guy go through. Nice little curl, dump pass, touchdown. I think that's in the playbook.
Probably is.
I think that could happen. So that could be a magical moment. Let me ask this question. What would it take from Marvin Harrison Jr. in this game to win the Heisman based on this game?
I think he's got to go. I think he's got to go at least 150 yards with at least 3 touchdowns.
Ooh, that's a lot.
It's a whole lot, but given where he's at versus the other two guys who I believe are in front of him right now,
which are
Well, I think right now Bo Nix has got to be the front runner, especially coming off that game last week where he put up 6 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's huge
against a nobody though.
That doesn't matter. I mean, let's look at it and call it what it is. Most of these voters are not even watching the games; they're looking at the stat sheet.
Is it possible that it comes down to Michael Penix and Bo Nix and whoever wins that game?
I believe it does very much. Although people will tell you that Jaden Thompson slipped up in there. The kid, that's the name I believe, right, from LSU.
No,
Jaden, or no, it's Jaden.
Jalen Neighbors.
No, it's not Jim Neighbors. That was Gomer Pyle.
No, not Jim. What the hell? What do you do? I know your ears are old, man, but come on.
Let me look up his name.
Jaden
Daniels.
Jaden Daniels. There we go.
Man, there's no way that dude ain't in the room.
You know, he shouldn't get it, but they right now, at least 2 different sources are saying he is the number 2 right now. I don't see it. I think it's Penix Jr. I think it's Bo Nix. And I think that Harrison Jr. is 3rd right now.
He gets invited because of his stats.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah,
he's not going to win it. He's suffered too many L's.
Yeah, you can't give it to a guy. What do they got? 3, 4.
What invitees?
Losses?
Oh
no,
LSU?
losses. Yeah,
3. They got 3 losses.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that's what it comes down to. Though he's got to do 150 yards and 3 touchdowns in this game against this type of competition. You know, you do that against the top defense in the nation. I don't think they can turn him away.
He doesn't have to have 3, but if he gets 2 and how he gets them might be enough to get him in the conversation to where if the other 2 guys kind of slip and fall and then he has a huge Big Ten championship game where he's just dominant, then maybe that's it sets him up for that. If he doesn't win it, and I don't think he it's really hard for a wide receiver to win it.
Yeah.
First off, so if he doesn't win it, I'm pulling for Michael Penix Jr. because I have money running on it. I actually picked it at the beginning of the year. So,
that Bo Nix may be as old as I am.
Well,
so.
they both I think are like 24. Michael Penix, I think this is for both of them. This is their 6th and final year of eligibility.
Like 9th year.
Same thing for Jaden Daniels, if I'm not mistaken. Like all 3 of them are have been in the college football forever. And Marvin Harrison Jr., this is his 3rd year. Like he's done. Like, you know, it's a little bit different of a scenario. Okay, so MVP of the game. If the MVP of the game is a defensive player, is that good or bad for Ohio State, Aaron? Not saying who it is. I'm just saying if it's a defensive player, is it going to be a Buckeye or is it going to be a Luzerne? If I just said, hey, best player of the game, the MVP was a defensive player.
I don't view that, and because I'm primarily a defensive player and coach, but I don't think that's a bad thing. Mm-hmm. Especially if some of those plays are for 6. You know what I mean? Or they turn the tide of the game so that the offense can capitalize. We get them good field position. So no, I don't think that's a bad thing for the Buckeyes. If anything, given the situation, I think it might be a good thing.
Okay.
Especially if it's one of the defensive ends.
Yes, yeah.
Same question to you, Chris, but I'm going to flip it on you. Is it a good or bad thing if I tell you the MVP of the game is an offensive player?
I don't know that it's a good or bad thing per se. I would say this. I think a lot of that depends on who the player is. If you come out and it's Travion or Marv, especially if it's Marvin Harrison, because if it's Marvin Harrison, that means odds are McCord had a pretty decent day as well. Mm-hmm. So they come as almost a package deal. That's a positive. If it's Travion, I think it's a good thing.
Most important, finish this sentence for me. Most important coach on the sideline this weekend is Chris.
You know what?
All right, and I
gotta say, I gotta almost go with Jim Knowles.
Okay, I was gonna say I said sideline, but You know what
Yeah,
I mean.
and that's why I know, and that's why I hesitated. But I gotta say, it's Jim Knowles.
Okay.
I really think the key is keeping Michigan's offense off the field, and getting off the field fast. So I think that a lot of things are going to come down to the way he calls this game.
Okay. Aaron, here's your question. If Ohio State wins this game on Saturday, it will be because
If Ohio State wins this game, it will be because Ryan Day is pissed off and he's coaching like it.
okay. Chris, if Ohio State loses this game on Saturday, it will be because
Ryan Day couldn't get out of his own way.
I like it.
He overthinks. He lets the past get inside of his head. When Day just gets, like Aaron said, when Day gets angry, when we get pissed off Ryan Day, we get what we saw against Georgia. But then the problem is we cannot become complacent. We can't start playing not to lose, and that's what I think he's done the last 2 years. Is he'll get a lead and then he'll play not to lose instead of playing to win. Do not take your foot off the gas. Bury them. Go in with that attitude that, and we know it's not going to happen because of these defenses on both sides of the ball, but go in with the attitude that you're going to hang 100 on them. That's what you got to do.
Aaron, this team peaked at the right time, yes or no?
Yes. And I say that because if you asked me a month ago if this team could execute a pissed off Ryan Day offense 4 weeks ago, I would have said absolutely not. They can do it now. I believe that.
Okay. Last question, guys. I'm going to write my article here in the next 2 days, my confidence level. 50, if my confidence level is at 50, that means it's a coin flip game. If you were writing my article, and it's based on 5 categories and whatever, and I'm not getting into all of that. If you were writing my article, how confident do you think I should be on a scale of 0 to 100 with 50-50 being a coin flip and a percentage? Chris, you get to go first.
Well, I'll tell you, Eric, even though we've not seen great performances the last 2 years, I'm going to say a 70. I think this is a game that Ryan Day knows he has to win. We have the advantage of not having the hairball on the sideline. They can come and say that this chaos and this adversity has brought them together, but the fact is you don't want to go into a game like this without your leader. You just don't. And that's where they're at. I think that these guys, especially if Ohio State gets off to a fast start, I think these guys are going to be questioning themselves and asking themselves how much of it was the fact that we knew what was being run. So, I talked about Ryan Day getting inside his own head. The same thing can happen on the other sideline real easy given everything that's going on. Mm-hmm. And I really feel like this is the year that Day knows he has to get him. He has to take advantage. Otherwise, I've screamed for it. I think I won't be the only one screaming for it. It could be Day's last year, and I know you disagree, but it could be Day's last year at Ohio State if he loses this one again.
Aaron, what percentage should I be at?
I'm going to say 75.
Okay.
And I'll say because of that pressure, because the offense is peaking at the right time, the defense has been incredibly solid and consistent. We can run the ball, which means we can control the clock. We can throw the ball as needed. I'm not saying deep plays like Olave Wilson. I'm not going to paint that picture, but we can make it happen if we need to now. We have a run game. It's really solid. We're healthy. I think that it's really in our favor right now.
You guys know the drill. Leave us a comment in the comment section below. Give us your prediction for your chance to win some free OHIO podcast merch. This is it, guys. If we win If we win, check us out live. Chris and I will get on here live after the game Saturday to gloat and celebrate and everything. And if not, otherwise, win or lose or draw, we will be here Saturday or Sunday evening, 8:00 Eastern, for our live podcast. As Aaron gives us his 2 cents in closing here. Usually we say be kind to one another. That is still true unless you're speaking to a fan from up there. You don't have to be kind this week.
Put the boots to them.
You don't have to be kind to them, okay? Oh, but until then, sing Carmen High with all your heart. OH!
I-O!
I-O!
Go Bucks.